All right, good morning, guys. It is Tuesday, March 26, 2024. This is Bathrobe Business. I've been gone for a few days. I'm back. I've got the coffee, I've got the news, and I've got information on our latest acquisition. I did not have a video on Friday. I was traveling. And then yesterday, I did not have a video because it was the first day of our acquisition of our new office. As the title of the video suggests, I'm going to go over everything you should be doing on day one of buying your business. There are a couple news stories I do want to cover before we get into it. If you haven't heard, there is a horrible wreck in Baltimore. A giant Maersk shipping container has crashed into a bridge. Apparently, this is a major bridge with major infrastructure in the area. It's the Francis Scott Key Bridge. There's already people in the water. There's several people that are injured and in critical condition, and there's several people missing. It's a catastrophe. I still don't understand how it happened, but just kind of wanted to clear that story with you guys. I know it's not the best story to start the news off with, but it's pretty major. Another major story is just an inflationary target. Cacao prices hit $10,000 per metric ton for the first time in history. To give you an idea of how high that is, just 6 months ago, it was around 2 to 3,000 per metric ton. Looks like it's mostly because of dry season. So because of this dry season, there's less supply and inflationary pressure. Not a huge deal. I know it's chocolate, but just kind of wanted to talk to you about it as well. Last story I'm going to talk about before jumping into the main subject is Krispy Kreme donuts. So Krispy Kreme can now be bought at any McDonald's. I shouldn't say every McDonald's, but McDonald's is going to start serving Krispy Kreme donuts across the United States. This is going to more than double the capacity of Krispy Kreme. They're going to expand to now 6,000 additional stores because of this sale. So it's a major move for them. It has jumped their stock price. If we had known this yesterday, probably would have invested in them. That's pretty much it. So now I'm going to jump into the main story of what to do on day one of buying your business. So this channel is entirely dedicated to business in every way, right? So I try to give you guys the news every morning, and then whenever I can, I try to report on my business and what it is that we do. So I own a couple different businesses, and now I own one more. So we have bought another dental office. We have bought, this is the third dental office we have, and then we also have a dental laboratory. So yesterday was the first day we acquired this new office, and the most important thing to do on day one when you walk into a new business is absolutely nothing. It's a very anticlimactic answer, but if this is your first day of acquiring a business, even to someone that has done this multiple times, we've gone through multiple mergers and acquisitions. We have gotten lots of business growth through buying new practices, new businesses, new accounts. One of the most important things to do on day one is not to rock the boat too heavily. This is something that a lot of young entrepreneurs will get wrong. They will go in with a giant agenda, a binder of changes that they want to do, and they have a vision, and they have a plan, and they have a strategy, and they know what to do, and they know how to turn the ship around, etc., etc. You do not want to do any of that, especially if this is your first go-around. Resist that urge at all cost. I know you've done your due diligence. I know you think you know what makes the business tick and what makes the business profitable and why it's unprofitable. And the business may not be unprofitable at all. It might just not be as profitable as you want it to be. But you have to resist the urge to do that. What you have to understand is even though you know the numbers, even though you know the grand overarching vision that you have, you don't yet know the nitty-gritty and the day-to-day to the business. So when you go in, the first couple months, you have to just get acquainted so that you can run that business as efficiently as it was being run before. Because if you come in with changes and you don't yet know the implication of those changes, you could take a business that was in the right direction and totally turn it around and have it go in a negative direction. There's nothing harder than reversing negative momentum, especially if you've never done it or never experienced it before. So on day one, the most important thing you have to go in and do nothing. You can have your plan, you can have your strategies, but you have to put them on the back burner, and I wouldn't even share them with the staff yet. Now, as part of our acquisition, we always acquire the staff. It's just easier than going in and hiring new people. Now, if you go in, do your due diligence, and right away you see there are people here that should not be in these positions, you can go ahead and have a strategy to replace and fire them if need be. But again, I would say go in and learn the subtleties of the business first. Meet the staff. Find out what their daily duties are. What do they do? How do they do it? How efficient are they? Are they productive employees? Are they lazy employees? Are they underutilized employees? Oftentimes, there are scenarios where an employee is great in one position, but totally terrible in another. So the first 3 to 6 months, you have to get fully acquainted with this business. And after that, and only after that, you can go back and look at your business plan that you had originally. And then you'll see that there were holes in your plan you did not even think about. There were topics you weren't addressing, and the stuff you thought was critical actually isn't. So on day one, just go in there, listen, learn, and try to learn everyone's job as if you had to do it yourself. So that if, for example, in this scenario where it's the dental office, I want to know everything the front desk does, every software she uses, and if I had to step in and do her job. Now, not to do her job, but to understand the pressures that she's under and what policies you could implement and what policies are unrealistic. If I came in there and said, you have to be calling an additional 50 patients a day and doing this kind of outreach and this kind of outreach, and you have to be selling these kinds of treatment plan, I would look like an idiot, and I know I would give her an impossible task that she wouldn't do because there's just simply not enough time in the day. However, if I went in and saw that she wasn't using software correctly, and that by using that software correctly, she could add more productive time to her day that she could then use to sell treatment or to do patient outreach, then I could do that. But I would only know that after watching and learning what it is that she does. So on day one, you don't have to do anything. You just have to listen and learn. And that should be your strategy for the first 3 to 6 months. I would not touch any service. I would not touch any staff member. I would just let everything move off of inertia as it has been. And then and only then, once I understand every single facet, then I will tell you. Then you can go in and you can change what needs to be changed. Okay? It sounds simple enough, but on day one, every entrepreneur makes this mistake because they're ambitious and they're energetic and they want to go in and they want to topple mountains and they know exactly what it is that this business needs to get fixed. Don't do it. Every single entrepreneur that went in and did that later regretted it. Just listen and learn. 3 to 6 months. Just learn everything you can and then go back and reevaluate your plan, and you'll thank me. So I'll be back tomorrow with more news, and I'll tell you what I did on day 2 of acquiring our new business. I hope you guys have a productive day. I'll see you in the morning.